When we talk about 6 secrets to a lasting love, we're talking about relationships. I like to say we're talking about marriages, but relationships. So in our presentation, when you're hearing us talking about marriage, just know you don't necessarily have to be married, but if you're in a relationship, the information is just as important. If you're dating, if you're boyfriend, girlfriend, if you're engaged, and everything. So this was authored by Dr. Gary and Barbara Roseberg. So we want to give honor to what honor is due. That's what we do. So I'm not trying to steal anything, and we're recording it so that they'll know that I'm giving honor to what honor is due. But I'm not the author of this idea. So I just want you to know, but I love the information. And I thank you will also. 6 secrets to a lasting love. 6 secrets to a lasting love. Amen. Let me get to the beginning. We worked through it to make sure that we was where we needed to be with this. All right. In this, I will start reading. There's a subject called the dream marriage. The dream marriage or dream relationship. Nobody gets in a relationship for the sole purpose to break up. Everybody want it to work. But in our divorce rates in the United States is 48 to 51%. Depends on what that year looked like. Generally don't go over 51%, but it doesn't go under 48. But can anybody tell me what's the divorce rates in the African American community?
80%.
Huh?
80%.
That's close. Very good. 74. 74. That's very good. Why do you think that we divorce at a higher rate than the rest of the world?
Communication issues.
Communication.
That's number one.
Number one. What about trust?
That's two.
Married for the wrong reasons.
Finances.
Yeah.
Married for the wrong reason. What might be a wrong reason to get married?
Statute.
Huh?
Statute. That they want to look. They want to look.
Yeah. I didn't think of that.
A lot of people want to say they're married when they want to do the work of marriage.
Yeah. You guys gonna be sharp. I can see that. So it is my desire to bring the level, the percentage of divorce in our culture down to that what the census of in America. If we can get it down to 40, 51, I think we're doing good. At least we are more known. Because right now we are an outlier. We out there all by ourselves, and I don't know if y'all knew that. How many of y'all knew that our rates, we have the highest rates in the whole world? You know, ladies, I don't want to upset anybody. I'm not here to do that. But some of the things that we do that's not good is what we don't never correlate is how we was conditioned throughout slavery. You know, for instance, our African American women was intentionally targeted by whites they did not want the woman to be dependent on the man. And it was important to them. I don't know if y'all heard of a man named Willie Lynch, but he authored a lot of this on how to, he called it keep us in control. One thing he did was found out that they was killing, hanging the blacks. And he said, man, you don't want to kill them because that's not good economics. How many of you know slavery was rooted in economics? Right. It wasn't about color and all that, it was about economics. And blacks they noticed that can work in the field of sun a lot longer than whites could. We had more stamina, more because of our skin color, which was the reason why. Because they had black here in America, but they couldn't make them our slaves, so they went and got them from other places and bring them back. You know what I mean? But how do we control them? They develop a plan. And so I develop a plan, and I just want us to be healthy. But I want us to know, number one, I'm also a marriage family therapist, and I teach a lot of the women when it comes to counseling for me that, and I want to take a censor in here. How many of you females, I see it's just 3, but have ever heard somebody say, I don't need a man? By the show of hands. We got 1, 2. Have you ever heard it now? Yeah. Now, I need you to be brave on this one. Have you ever said it? All right. All right, so 2 out of the 3 say they say it. That's good. You're being honest. But the truth of the matter, when God created man, he said it's not good for man to be alone. You was created for the man, because of the man. You was created, and you don't know better than God. And you shouldn't be saying, I don't need what God created me for. It's not logical. You was created for that reason. And most other cultures, you won't ever hear them say that.
Right.
All right, they don't say that. I don't need a man. But we had some things done to us. I won't get off into all of that, but I just want you to know we've been bamboozled. And we need to open up our eyes and see the true reality of where we come from so that we can have a better picture of where we're going. All right? 6 secrets to a lasting love. Let me get started in this. The dream marriage. The dream marriage, he called it. I like that. The dream marriage. And I like it for this reason. Most likely when you and your spouse begin your relationship with the dream of spending the rest of your lives together, the power of love motivated each of us to make a pledge before God and others and our family and friends. Our hearts were probably filled with hope. I know mine was. A hope, expectation, and promise as you dreamed that your marriage and love for each other would last a lifetime. You probably also anticipated a life bursting with wholeness, security, and companionship. You were never happier or more hopeful than you were at the wedding day. You understand? And I'm going to ask my wife to read the next slide for us, which is called Living the Dream.
Living the dream. The dream is the kind of marriage expectation that each of us bring to the wedding. The expectation of a relationship that is real, meaningful, and rewarding. You know, the dream is the ultimate relationship between a husband and a wife. In my experience, most couples understand that marriage is hard work. However, they are often not committed to the work of making it last. Thus, most couples are in danger of losing their dream marriage.
Amen. Dream marriage is the aspiration that we all bring to the table at the wedding day.
Yes.
We work hard to get to that day where we can get married. And we go through hell and back. I mean, I've seen couples work hard at it. It could be a very stressful time in one's life trying to put together a marriage because it's so important and meaningful to the couples. And that's why we go to them, because we want them to have a really great time, a happy time, enjoy. But behind every marriage, behind every wedding rather, there is a marriage.
Right.
Oftentimes we put more energy into the wedding
Right.
than we really do to the marriage.
Yes.
All right? Now, there are 2 ways that every marriage that I've seen is heading. They even heading towards a divorce, or they heading towards bliss. I would prefer every couple to move towards bliss, where you love your choice and you're so happy about the choice you made. And there's so much joy in the home, fun. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to have bad days. There's no relationship that's perfect,
Right.
as you're going to see, as I'm going to read here. But I need you to understand, which way are you headed? Which way are you headed? The first step in moving towards the dream marriage begins with identifying where you are now in your relationship. All right. It is important that the two of you give an honest evaluation of your relationship by taking a pulse on the relationship. You know, when the doctor take that pulse, they not only want to see if we are alive, but they want to see how strong that heartbeat is and how many times it beat per minute.
Yeah.
Which can be because if it's not beating up to par, then they know there's something wrong. Well, you can take a pulse on your marriage and you can be knowing that, hey, something ain't right here. The pulse of our union is weak. It's not thriving, it's not beating, it's not pouncing. All right? However, you must understand that living the dream marriage does not mean marital perfection. That does not exist.
Right.
Every couple will have an argument, maybe even a fight. God forbid, but it can happen. But at the end of the day, do you know how to come together and make it right? All right. Yeah, and that's why you have people like me, marriage counselors, because I spend a lot of time helping couples to get on a good foot.
Right.
You know? All right. That place simply does not exist. You're not going to have marital perfection. There's flaws. Hell, there's flaws in every last one of us.
Right.
Shortcomings. All right? And when you get married to somebody, what you bring is some shortcomings to that marriage. All right? You can be living the dream while working on improving your marriage. You know, your marriage don't have to already arrive. You could be in process of. In fact, working continuously towards perfection or perfect marriage is the ultimate indicator of a healthy marriage. If you are married or in relationship and you're not working towards perfection, then you're not bringing the energy that's needed to make it strong. All right? On this slide, my wife is going to read, there are marriageal evaluation, and here is some of the things, and each of you can have a copy of this PowerPoint before you leave. You can write your email down or your phone number down, and I'll text it to you, whatever, but I want you to have it. But there are 8 items here that will help you evaluate your relationship. Would you, one we read them together?
Yes, you.
Okay.
You do the yes, and I'll do that.
All right. I can freely communicate with my spouse, and we never keep any inappropriate secrets.
Number 2, I usually forgive my spouse when he or she has wronged me and seek forgiveness when often, which we just were saying. Yeah.
Number 3, I am loved and do love without any strings attached.
Number 4, my spouse and I readily seek to discover and meet each other's needs.
Number 5, we have faced and conquered difficult circumstances that have undone other marriages.
I consciously guard, and that word guard is G-U-A-R-D, myself against threats and temptations that could pull our marriage apart.
Number 7, we enjoy ongoing emotional, physical, and spiritual closeness.
Number 8, we are committed to keeping our relationship fresh and alive.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Every Friday, guys, we have date night. No matter what's going on, no matter, how many, because we have like 4 different jobs, plus family. You know, we have 10 kids and 8 grandkids. Well, 8 kids and 10 grandkids all together.
Yeah, we only have
2 in house.
2 at home.
2 at home.
2 at home.
But you still have
The other 2
homes
are grown and gone.
and expectations placed on parents, you know. We have, you know, and so we shut down everything. Friday, about 5 o'clock, we shut everything off, phones, everything, and we just focus on each other. And sometimes, most of the time, we don't even have to go just spend elaborate amounts of money and, you know, insurmountable amounts of money. We literally just, long as we're in each other's presence and in the moment.
Tending
if it's just
to
sitting
each
on the
other.
lake, if it's just taking a ride from Slidell to the city.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we
We
do.
were supposed to go get some beignets this Friday.
Yeah.
We didn't
But
do
we
it.
didn't do it.
Yeah. All right. So, according to the author, and I agree, you're either moving away from the dream marriage or you're moving towards it. So you have to determine which way you are going in your relationship. When you're moving away from the dream marriage, there is six ingredients that takes place that move you. It's 6 D's. Every word is a D.
Yes.
All right. First, it begins with disappointment, discouragement, distance, disconnect, discard, and finally, divorce. All right. So we're going to take our time and go through all 6 of them, and we're going to move expeditedly. But at the same time, if you have questions, you can ask.
Right.
All right. Disappointment. When we talk about disappointment, we're talking about disappointment happens when you or your spouse fail to meet the other expectation in some way. All right. Disappointment happens in every relationship. However, it is imperative that couples share their feelings with each other. All right. The problem is when couples do not share their feelings, they unconsciously expect the spouse to read their minds. I've seen that in so much.
That just happened about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
It's always a conflict when you the person that always want to talk to fix it and get it right, and the other person just it's not being reciprocated.
Yeah.
You know,
Shut down.
shut
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
They
yeah.
don't want to talk for 3-4 days.
Yeah.
They want to walk around like roommates and
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, you know, to have that energy to want to fix it, but you also dealing with another person that's they don't want to talk.
Wow. Which makes it difficult.
It makes it, yeah, I was going to say that.
All right.
Yeah.
When the spouse is unable to do so, the spouse is often held responsible and penalized for not knowing what the other person have not shared.
Right.
They didn't put it on the
Yes.
table, but they handle you like you should have known,
Yeah.
and they never verbalized it.
Yeah.
All right. After disappointment, there is discouragement.
When marital disappointment goes unresolved, couples move to discouragement because their basic love needs are not met. Learning how to make disappointments a positive relationship builder in a marriage is a process that is absolutely possible. Couples must seek those skills for resolving conflict by embracing the conflict while going through it. Couples must not allow unhealed hurts to cloud their thinking and to lose hope for a better relationship.
All right. Then there is distance. After you have disappointment and then discouragement, now you start distancing yourselves
Yes.
from each other.
Right.
You can actually see it in the relationship. Couples often become preoccupied in their own lives that they lose track of the other. Thus, having no emotional energy for their spouse. You can often see them in restaurants, husbands and wives who come in together, eat their meal, pay the bill, and leave, yet they do not say a word to each other the whole while they was out.
Yes.
A husband might fill his time with building his career, going out with the fellas, or engaging in some sports or hobby. A wife may busy herself with the kids, the career, volunteering, or placing emotional energy in female friendships. So spending time with a female girlfriend or something, more than do the husband.
Oh, man.
Yes, or male. You're right. Yes.
Well, that
And the
comes
next
in.
one here is going to come into play.
That comes in.
The next one is disconnect. In a disconnect marriage, a husband and wife may live together, but in reality, they are living alone. The problem is that they still have an emotional need that needs connection. This is often how affairs get started. A lonely husband receives attention, sympathy, or praise from another female. A lonely wife pours out her pain to a compassionate male friend. While each example may not result in an adulterous affair, at the very least, it is inappropriate and unhealthy. Emotional connection or bond is often achieved.
Y'all agree, disagree?
Agree.
All right. Discord. Discord here, couples who are relationally disconnected are easy prey for conflict and discord. Conflicts that were once suppressed now surfaces and are open, they become open contention. Deferring opinions escalates to defensive quarrels and arguments. Criticism and anger rule most verbal exchange. Instead of simply hurting each other's feeling, they usually seek to wound or break each other's heart.
Yes. Yes.
And the last one is?
Divorce. It is possible for a couple to be legally married and yet totally separated in heart. They live under a cloud of unresolved disappointment and discouragement. Their behavior is characterized by rational distance and discord. They occupy the same house, but emotionally, they live miles apart. When a couple reaches the point of emotional divorce, the relationship has died. If they file for a divorce, the divorce papers merely serve as a death certificate to the marriage. Some couples refuse to file for divorce. They stay together for a number of reasons: kids, finances, career, or simply to avoid the sin of divorce.
Yeah. Now there's another stuff. All of this is bad stuff. I believe they're right about these 6 principles that leads to divorce. But the truth of the matter, you could be moving towards that dream marriage.
Right.
But just like we got a list for that, we have a list for this.
Right.
And this is where you want to pay attention to, your best attention to. Moving towards the dream marriage. There are also 6 secrets to this lasting love. This is what we want to reveal to you guys, share with you guys. This is the most pertinent thing so that you can start applying it to your relationships. Number 1, there is a forgiving love. If your marriage is going to make it, you're going to have to learn how to forgive. A serving love. I personally call this dying so the other person can live.
Yes.
What Jesus done for us.
Yes.
A preserving love. Preserve something means to save it, to relish it, to want to keep it around and protect it. You want to preserve that love. We preserve it on every Friday. We want them. We don't want to fall out of love.
Yes.
So we make sure that we do some practical things, some work.
Yes. Do the work.
To preserve what we got.
Yes.
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 A guarding love. She spelled it earlier, so I will too. Guarding. Guarding, as a guard that guard your house and keep the enemy from coming in. A celebrating love. What do you think a celebrating love might look like? Anybody? A celebrating love.
Enjoying.
Come on.
I was gonna say to celebrate like their accomplishments.
Their what?
Accomplishments.
Their accomplishments. What you said? Somebody else said something?
Enjoying the love that they share together.
Enjoying the love, celebrating it, celebrating,
Together, you know.
getting excited about it, celebrate. You know, one of the things that I really want to rat on my wife about is that she, without fail, will celebrate me daily.
Edifying.
Through edification, a kind word.
Yes.
She tells me every day, multiple times a day, you fine.
As wine.
You look some good.
You're beautiful.
Yeah. And men, you don't want to be called beautiful? I don't have no problem with that. Zero problem. Well, my wife said, you're beautiful, you're good looking. You know, it makes me now want to compliment her.
More.
You know, because I don't want her to keep telling me, and I'm pleading the fifth.
Right.
Because life and death is in the power of our tongue. And women, we have the power to build our house or tear it down with our words. It's not always necessarily with our hands and our actions. Our words mean a lot to our men. And we're in the Black African American community, we're taught more hate and more self-righteousness than we're taught love. And then we're taught empathy.
Yes. And then last but not least, there is a renewing love. What do you think we mean by renewing love? Anybody? Renewing.
Starting new daily.
Huh?
Starting new daily.
That's good.
Starting new daily. It don't have to really be
But that's
daily.
good.
But you're right. But it doesn't have to be daily. You should want your marriage to elevate.
Yeah.
Yeah. New heights
Yeah.
calls for new actions.
Right.
You know, to bring new accomplishments and everything. We're gonna explain each of these to you guys. We're gonna start that right now. I'll start with this forgiving love. If you are a Christian, and if you're not, you're in a safe place, so it's okay, all right? But if you're a Christian, you should have nothing about being unforgiving.
Right.
Unforgiveness is not a choice.
Right.
Jesus has clearly said to all of us who believe, when somebody wrongs you, forgive. Because if you don't, my heavenly Father won't forgive you. It's not a choice. It's a command. It's a downright demand by God himself for us to forgive. How can we think we are a Christian and we won't hold grudges to the end of time?
And if you're not Christian, how do you think you're going to live a healthy, wholesome life? Because unforgiveness is like rottenness to your bones. It's like cancer.
Come on.
I mean, you get so many sicknesses from unforgiveness.
Kills your heart.
Yes. You can catch heart attacks. You can have stress, anxiety, panic attacks. You can lose hair, weight. I mean, it's just a multifarious sicknesses and illnesses that carries the weight of carrying unforgiveness on our back. It's like baggages, spiritual baggages of dead weight.
This,
I'm so fat. I can't do
this. I teach this ministry, my ministry, that there are two sins of the body of
Yes.
Christ. One is called forgiveness,
Yeah.
because we are not willing to forgive, and
Right.
we act like we have a choice. But the other one is being overly judgmental.
Yes. Yes.
Want to judge everything. You know, if somebody's doing wrong today, that don't mean that they ain't going to heaven.
Right. Right.
It's like you wasn't born all of that.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes, because
You
God
know,
saved the words first. Yes.
Some people cuss around me, and because I'm a pastor, they say, "Ooh, sorry, Rev." Yeah, like Rev ain't never cussed.
Right.
Man, my idol when I was lost was Eddie Murphy. Man, I had guys, I real guys, and they wanted to fight me when I got through. They felt so dirty. Some of them sought out a shower. You know what I mean? Because, so don't think that because I'm the man I am today, I've always been this way.
Right.
Hell, I tell you, I've done 10 years, 2 months, and 3 days in prison. And it wasn't for helping the old lady across the street.
Yes.
All right? Out of all the people in prison, innocent, I wasn't one of them.
Right.
I wasn't one of them. All right? All right. Forgiving love offers a fresh start after you have offended or hurt your significant other. Forgiving love safeguards your marriage by healing hurts and helping you feel accepted and connected. Forgiving love is the first love every marriage needs if it's gonna last.
Right.
Forgiving love is often the most rewarding step in breaking through rational disappointments. However, it can also be the most difficult kind of love.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
when you forgive, sometimes you got to suck it up and move on. Nobody's going to tell you it's easy to move on. And let me give you a nugget. Forgiving love don't mean you forget.
Right. You can set healthy boundaries and
Yeah.
utilize self-autonomy, but you can do it in a healthy way.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean you forget. Listen to me, guys. I'm also a preacher. So here I go. I'm going to preach right now. Just kidding. A forgiving love, it doesn't mean you got to forget. Because if you forget, then what's there to forgive since you don't remember?
Right.
Forgiving love is so important. It is best known and recognized in the fact that you do remember. But your real forgiveness is not the fact that you forgot. It is the fact that I remember what you've done, but I make the conscious choice to treat you as though you never done it.
Yes.
That's forgiving love.
In true, pure, genuine love, you have a desire to forgive. Once your emotions settle, you have this desire where you want to forgive your spouse or your loved ones.
You don't want that going around in your head?
Yeah,
Keep moving.
Right, exactly.
Unforgiveness is harder on the unforgiver than it is the offender.
Yes.
That stuff, man, will eat you up alive on the inside. It's the reason why some of us has hypertension,
Right.
high blood pressure. Some of us sick because we hold too much in us. And we need to let that stuff go, man. Let it go.
Yes.
We got people we don't want to speak to for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
That might be a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to have a forgiving love in your relationship.
Yes.
You can't pounce people for everything.
And a lot of unforgiving people are depressed people. There are people that don't even realize they're depressed. How would you know? You can't conquer something you don't confront. So you walking around with unforgiveness in your heart, and you're wondering why you're sad. You're wondering why you have rage. You're wondering why you're bitter. But we're not taught these things.
Yes. Serving
love. Serving love helps you discover and meet each other's needs. Jesus illustrated the best example of a serving love in the gospel by washing his disciples' feet. And this can be found in John chapter 13, verses 13 through 17. There are 3 principles to this serving love. And the first principle is he met a genuine need through an act of servanthood. Peter did not want Jesus
Jesus
to wash
washed
his feet. Yes.
He was saying, you my Lord, you
Yeah,
my
why
God.
would you wanna wash
Don't
my
wash
feet?
my feet. I can't
Right.
have you doing that. Not you.
Right.
I got you way up here.
Yes,
You
yes,
know?
yes.
But Jesus told him, if you don't let me do this,
Yes.
you don't have nothing to
yes,
do with me.
Yes.
So he gets flipped and said, Peter does what he always does, put his foot in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't only wash my feet, wash my whole body.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? You
But
know?
God also said the greatest among you is a servant.
Yes.
The greatest among you are
yes,
servants.
Yes.
The second principle of this serving love is his action made one disciple uncomfortable with being served.
I'm sorry.
Peter.
Took your time.
But you know, Peter was also a fighter, a person that was full of rage and anger.
Yes,
He
yeah.
cut off ears and everything. He fought. He demonstrated that the greatest among us is called to be servants of all, not just the people we like, not just the people who make us happy and make us feel good. To all. We have to forgive and we have to serve. And like Pastor said, Kenneth said, you know, just because you forgive someone don't mean you forget. You make the conscious decision that I want to be right. Not only with myself, but with God, with my Creator. How we feel, we want to be blessed. If we harbor all of these negative things, because God don't look down on sin. If he turned his face on his only begotten son who bore our sins, what more would he do it to us? Just by unforgiveness, we will not make it into the kingdom of heaven. That one sin alone. We can do everything, serve people, say, God, I do everything for you. But that one sin, you didn't forgive the person who slammed the door in your face. You didn't forgive the person who cussed you out. You didn't forgive the person who stole your money. You got to think of these things.
A preserving love. A preserving love sustains you through the trials and tribulations of life. There are 6 qualities to this preserving love. First of all, total commitment. If you're going to preserve your marriage, you got to bring total commitment to it.
Yes.
No backdoor exits. Divorce, not an option.
Right.
All right? Unconditional acceptance.
Yes.
All of us have shortcomings.
Right.
All of us. And my spouse is going to know that I got some shortcomings.
Right.
But she still ought to love me unconditionally. That should not be a deal breaker.
I'll tell you guys a little secret. Me and my husband have OCD. Our OCD is different. His OCD is different from my OCD. And we agitate each other, rub each other the wrong way every day, hours on end. But immediately when we know, we become mindful. Wait, hold on, I need to have patience. I need to operate in patience in this moment. Because I can't say I love him and say, you make me sick, I can't stand you all day, because it's just rubbing me the wrong way. He's agitating me. I might want to watch a movie. He might come in there slamming the door and I'm like, oh my God, I want the door open. I need the light switch a certain way, Yeah. So we have to have this unconditional acceptance.
What about trust? Trust is how you preserve a love. It's one of the major arteries I call in it. The second major artery is communication.
Yes.
Usually when people come to me to marriage counseling, it's out of every 100, it's probably 95 of them that have communication and trust issues.
Yes.
It goes together. All right? But endurance. You gotta have, and you can't have timid skin.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't burn for, you
can't say, oh my God, I done told you 5, 6 times. Don't ask me the same question over and over.
Enduring love. All right. What about abiding faith?
Yes.
Talking about faith in your significant other.
Right. Amen.
You know it's important for my wife to believe me. If she's not believing me, man, that makes me feel something funny.
Yes.
Why would I want to convince somebody that don't want to believe in me, in my integrity, in my honor? You understand? Yes. And lastly, diligent preparation. Diligent preparation. You got to prepare. If you want to preserve, there are times she'll buy things for me and I don't know. and she's diligent about it, and that thing, I'll bring something and sneak up with, but you got to be diligent
Yes.
about it. Why did you get this? I said, because I love you.
Right.
There's no other motive. I love you.
True.
And I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
A guarding love. And it's not a guarding love as opposed to, oh, I'm protecting my woman or my man from someone else. No, it's about guarding yourself. It's about guarding ourselves. And a guarding love protects your heart from internal and external threats to your marriage or your relationship. The heart is where your life interacts with the world. The heart is the gateway to your emotions and your relationships. Where your heart leads, your eyes, your mouth, your feet will naturally follow. The word guard means to take great care of, to watch over, and to keep harm from. Through a guarding love, couples can experience the heightened sense of safety and security in their relationships.
So we want to reiterate again.
Yeah.
You're not talking about guarding the other.
Right.
You're talking about guarding
Yes.
yourself. You understand? Because we have too many women that goes to other men to
Yes.
talk about the husband.
Right.
You should never go to another man and talk about your significant other.
And
vice
conversely,
versa.
yes. Yes.
And vice versa.
Yes.
We have too many men
Yes.
that will confide in other women. And what do you think? And you tell them everything your wife doing, and they're gonna tell you, "Oh, I wouldn't do that if I was your wife."
Right. Right.
Tell
And
you everything you want to hear,
right.
and you go open yourself up to that.
Giving them the key.
Yes. And also to add to that, we have to guard ourselves with, like me, for instance, I'm gonna use myself as an example in our ministry. I don't deal with the men. Not saying I don't speak and I'm not friendly and I'm not, loving or empathetic towards them, but my husband is the head. So I don't want to, and if I am with a man, I want to have a witness. I want to be guarding. Because in the Bible, even Joseph, he didn't have a witness. So someone lied on him and said, oh, he tried to rape me. And he got thrown in prison.
Yeah.
So if this happened in the biblical days, what makes us different? So, we need to know as individuals that when we're dealing with people, because you have so many spirits. You have people that have this motive and hidden agendas.
Yes.
Women and men. So you have to know okay, you know what? Even if you're on the phone with somebody and you feel your spirit, because your spirit lets you know when something is not right, or when you're in a situation to be tempting. So wait, hold on, let me get my spouse, or let me get my partner, or let me get a witness involved to keep myself guarded. Because you have people that lie on you for no apparent reason.
All right.
Celebrating love?
Celebrating love. Celebrating love equips you to maintain a satisfying emotional, physical, and spiritual connection with your significant other. Celebrating love takes pleasure in the emotional, physical, spiritual connections that binds you to your significant other by helping you feel cherished by each other. A celebrating love allows you to grow deeper in love year after year. Anybody in here love their wife more today than they did when they met them?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Spouse, you know what I mean? Giving attention to your spouse can facilitate or rekindle a celebrating love in the relationship. You understand? You got to learn to celebrate what you got. If you're
Right.
not celebrating what you got, why would God give you anything more?
Right.
Seeing that you're not appreciative
That's right.
of what you have. Last thing, guys.
A renewing love. Renewing love regards and honors the marriage covenant as unbreakable. A renewing love keeps the marriage commitment alive. The heart of a renewing love is a commitment to keep growing together through a genuine pledge of undying love. The very survival of your marriage depends on your recognizing the scope of the covenant you made before God. A renewing love says with absolute Divorce is not an option. A renewing love believes that your commitment to your spouse is essential to building a lasting love.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Any questions, statements, or concerns up to this point?
Right.
What do you think about this information?
Right.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
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 What do you think about it, man? I'd be glad to hear from you.
For me,
Yeah.
be sure you want this.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, I'm gonna just speak for myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
The information is receivable
Yeah.
because I'm the type of person I want to be better than I was yesterday. But you also have people that's selfish,
Yes.
deluded, aggressive, don't want to be bothered. Those are the type of people that I try to stay away from, and
Right.
those are the type of people that never receive anything in life because of how they carry themselves. So I'm on my second marriage, so and I'm gonna just be real with you. If I get divorced, I'm not getting married again because I don't wanna keep throwing myself under the bus. Dealing with a significant other that's the total opposite of me because it's not being reciprocated. It's just too much energy.
All right. So if we were to take a pulse on your marriage right now, how
Yes.
strong would the heart be?
Well, it's not like that every day.
Yeah.
It's not like that every day, but we have been through, some trials in our marriage, and it's not a cakewalk. It's not. I mean,
Yeah.
of course y'all know it's not
Yeah.
a cakewalk, but
Yes.
it's something worth fighting for. But personally, I won't get married again. I just won't.
Yeah. So then, sound like you won't get divorced
Right.
again.
I won't get
Because let me tell you something, you can't give anyone that type of power over your love. Because
Right.
we are commanded to continue to grow in love in spite of what we go through, in spite of what the next person or how they treat us. Even this is my second marriage. My husband has been married several times, but we're dying together. I say this all the time. And we have to also realize our words. Bruce Lee said, your words, you have to be careful and mindful of what you speak over your life and the lives of people connected to you, because it's a casting a spell. It's spelling. That's why you have the alphabet. It's spelling. So if you want better, we have to start speaking that better. We have to start
And
ruminating
doing
that.
better.
Yes, and doing better. Yes, thank you.
Yes, and
Yes.
doing better.
Removing the negativity off our tongue.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I was at a place where I felt the same way. I've been
Yeah.
divorced already.
Yeah.
I got married at 20, got divorced at 26.
Yeah.
And I say the same thing. I'm not doing this again
Yeah.
until I met the woman I'm with now. And we haven't got married yet, but when she came into my life, we met at work, and we just joked about it. We didn't even plan on being together.
Mm.
But when we first went on our first date, it seemed as if we had been together for so long already. Our communication was there, the vibe was there. So I believe it was God changing my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was at the point to where I'm not doing this again. I'm gonna live my life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my old ways and just do
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But she made me see things in such a different way.
Yes.
To where I say, you know what?
Yes.
God, this gotta be what you have for me.
Right.
You understand? Like when we first actually started, because I have a baby one. I have a baby that'll be here Tuesday.
Oh,
So when we
congratulations.
found out we was pregnant, it was like, God, what are you doing? It's like now you put me in a place to where it's like the love I have for her, I cannot share with someone else. You understand? So like this, I believe you sit back and you allow God to move things
Yes.
Right.
around.
Yes.
He'll always
That's
change
good.
your mind for what you really believe.
Good foundation.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
I do. I'm a minister as well.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I learned to sit back and allow him to move
Right.
and allow him to maneuver my life around.
Right. I
So
think
once
we
sat
all
back
feel
and
that way.
had,
You
it
know?
was amazing.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, we all get to that point. We're human. We're human. We're fleshly. We're wrapped in flesh. So I think we all get to that point, but that's when we need to connect with people that can move us out of that place. We need to get around people who can catapult us into wanting to love and wanting to feel loved again. Because, life could beat you down. And your spouses could beat you down.
Let me,
Surround yourself with that positivity.
You have to surround yourself with a
Otherwise,
community
you're
of
gonna be back
positivity.
like
Yes, yes. Because we have mentors. We, minister to
Yeah.
people, but we also need people to minister to us and pray with us sometimes. People always want to take, but we need deposit.
Yeah.
That's just like a light bulb. That light bulb, we keep that light bulb on all day for a whole week, it's gonna burn out. Somebody got to get up there and change it. And it's the same way in the spirit. We have to sometimes change our direction, our way of thinking, our mind frame. The people we be around every day. We have to sometimes change that. I love my sisters and brothers. I love my kids. We love our grandkids. But sometimes, look, just don't call me right now. I'm sorry. I love you. But give me some room. Give me some space to heal. Give me some space to get my mind right. Because right now, you don't want this. Like y'all say, you don't want this smoke. We get like that. So, everybody, we have that. But we are not taught in the African American community to plug into a positive side. To get around some people that can label with you and get you out of that funk. To get around some people that can impart some spiritual things into you. We not taught that. We taught, oh no, hold court on the street. If they feel like that, you feel like that too. I don't want to carry nobody else's energy. You hate me, I don't care. Hate me over there. We good. I'm still love you. But before I came into being in this marriage, and my husband to tell you, I was a minister before, but I felt like you dislike me, I dislike you too. I don't want to hear that I ain't forgiving nobody. She feel that way, I feel that way too. He feel that way, we both feel that way now. And then just so ignorant, I go around the people. I know you don't like me, I'm still coming around. Mess your energy up.
It take a lot of energy to stay away from somebody than to just apologize and just.
Yes,
It's discipline. It's discipline.
Yes.
I got to the point where I learned to apologize if I ain't do nothing wrong.
I do that all the time.
My bad, I apologize if I offended you. No,
Yes, kill that energy right there. Cut it with a knife. Yes,
Yeah.
that's good. Good foundation.
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds good. You had something you wanted to say, ma'am?
I just want to thank y'all for doing this. I think it brought awareness.
Yes.
Like you say, for the black community, as women, we always, and forgive me if I cried, I'm just saying.
Good cry. Go ahead.
So, I think as women, we are taught that, sometimes we don't need a man. And that's not always right.
Yes.
So I thank y'all for just doing this. It's refreshing to me to be in this kind of atmosphere and to hear black men and women talk about marriage and relationship, because you don't hear that a lot either. They just go through divorce and that's it.
Right.
And then we're stuck with all kind of unhurt and baggages, like she talked about.
Yeah.
And going to the next relationship with those same baggages, and you don't know how to, we're not taught how to fix that before we go into our next relationship.
Yes.
So, I'm thankful for this session.
Yes.
And I learned a lot.
Marriage
feel
is-
more aware
Yes.
of what's going on.
Marriage
that's
is
our
hard
goal.
work. I got a message I want to sing
Yeah.
for you guys. It's a message in the song. I want you to listen to the words. All right? And
You
I
understand?
want you to hear it. Now,
Okay. All right. Do something new.
let's see.